Let's do it. All right. Good morning, Vienna. Good morning. Good morning, chat. Sorry, I'm late. Uno minuto. My speakers or my headphones weren't working. All right. So I always realize, like halfway through the call, that you can sort of see my screen right here in this picture, and it kind of freaks me out. What's up, Slater? What's up, Lucas? Lucas, I love how you introduce yourself with your name every time. It makes me happy. I appreciate that. What's up, Kay? Camille, Aaron, the team is here. The team is here. How's everyone's weekend? I'm sore. I did a lot of fitness yesterday and I'm fucking sore. I don't ever do this much fitness. And I'm debating on if I regret it or not because I don't ever get sore anymore. Not like this. But I snatched heavy, which I was stoked about. Guys, I set a goal when, like, I don't know, 6 months after, so like almost, I don't know, like 18 months, we'll call it like 18 months ago, that I'll always hit, um, like I'll always be able to snatch 185 in clean and jerk 225, right? Like that was like the goal I set for myself after everything happened, right? Just to like make me feel okay about it. And I haven't even tried to snatch 185 into, I don't know, probably like December, January. That's probably not true. Probably sometime in February before it all happened. And um and so I was stoked to hit it yesterday. Stoked. So I'm going to share my screen so we can talk about it cuz I was pumped. Pumped to hit that workout. Um, so it's always so strange. So just boop, super excited. Sean's goal is to relieve himself daily. I agree. I think that's definitely a solid secondary goal. You know, maybe that's a first goal. I don't know. But anyways, so that's where we're at. I was excited and I haven't hit. Can I do another screen? That's interesting. Extra camera. Huh. Anywho, StreamYard's changing, and so there's different things on the back end. Good morning, Vicky. What's up, Lido? Lido, are you getting ready for semifinals? Are you feeling good? Camille, how are you feeling today? Camille's in semifinals prep as well. Goals. Sean, I'm pretty sure you can muscle snatch 185. So, I bet you are. Whoa. Uh-oh. What just happened? There we go. Sean, can I don't know. We can take 5 seconds to describe. I think like small, I don't know. I don't know. Probably not the right show. Too many ears. Camille might not appreciate that. Why don't you guys start talking about it in the chat, and then I'll chime in when I see something valuable. Yeah, deload for sure. Deload on Monday and Tuesday. But snipped is 100%, right? Like for sure snipped. Just cleaner, right? Isn't that what they say? I don't know. All right. What's happening in the CrossFit space? Awesome lift. Thanks, Avera. Nothing's more of a statement of strength than the snatch. It's interesting. So um, the Greg defines the overhead squat as the ultimate like test of strength and um like strength, stability, mobility, etc. Um, not the snatch specifically. I think because there's so much skill in the snatch that it can be an outlier for the strength component, right? But the overhead squat, you can get it up there. You can, you don't quite need the skill. Like the snatch is very, very far down that like sport specific side, but the overhead squat is a little more encompassing. Interesting. So I agree with you, but I also think that the overhead squat from like an everybody standpoint makes a little more sense. Right. If you don't have the overhead squat, well, I think the overhead squat is just a little more um like manageable from the masses. Like the snatching, there just takes so much more skill involvement and it gets more and more sport specific. This is Lito, this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be able to overhead squat a substantial amount more than your snatch. Like I think it's 100. I think it's you should be able to overhead squat like 110, like 10 to 15%. Um, what's up, Jody from the bunker? Good morning. Good morning. Sean struggling with the snatch currently because my ankles have lost mobility from trail. I don't know if I agree with that. It's hard to lose mobility in like a 1 year time. I would say it's probably, since you didn't realize it, it's probably just because you haven't done the movement in a while and it's more of like a motor control thing. I can't imagine that your ankles have gotten less flexible in 1 year, right? Like maybe from, it just does like, I would say, I would assume you're probably not, um, uh, I'm not saying your ankles can't be a little worse, but you did it once, but you're not going to just like all of a sudden lose permanent range of motion, right? I mean, unless like acute mobility loss. I don't think that happens. I don't think it happens like that unless you get injured. Avera, if you can overhead squat 20 more than you can, how do you get the weight? So the overhead squat is taken from the rack in this specific example. Like what Greg is referring to. The overhead squat is taken from a rack. Um, so I'm pretty sure my knees would feel it. My ankles, knock on wood, they're pretty stiff. But they never have a um I've never not yeah, I'm not even gonna say it, but I've been fortunate in that aspect. Um, I bet you are. I bet you are extremely tight. But I mean, I would say it's more of just like lack of exposure to full snatching. Um, um, More than anything else, right? So best way to improve that is to sit in the bottom of an overhead squat every day. All right. Let's see. What do we got? Is this nope. Nope. What did someone Vicky asked about WFP? I think the workouts are really good. I mean, obviously there's no squatting. You know, you look at those workouts and um you think it's like, did they really want to let's see, World Fitness Project workouts. Is it a blind leaderboard? Let's find out. It's not a blind leaderboard, which is fun. Doop. Cool. Um, I don't think so, Sean. Um, Aaron, sit in the bottom of overhead squat. You don't. It doesn't have to be heavy. Empty bar, right? Just spend time. It's going to be really hard to spend any substantial amount of time with any load. So empty bar, 15, 20 seconds, or And then I like to go like narrow grip. Um, a blind. So yeah. So Sean, let's find out. I just pulled it up. So Sean asked, did people start signing up? So here's the challenger workouts. Oh, this isn't the. mm, Um. All right. Let's see if we can divisions. Oh, this is just the challenger. Okay. Um. Here we go. All right. So here's elite team. So elite team of 4. This looks like 10, 10, 12. Intermediate team of 4, 7. Scale team of 2. Scale team of 4, 2. Whoops. Oh shit. Here we go. Um, that doesn't look like it. 4, 2, 1, 2, 4, whatever that is. Wow. I mean, so we can count. This sucks. 2, 3, 7, 9, 10, 12, 16, 19, 21, 25, 28, 35, 39. There's 39 total teams signed up. Um, that's crazy. That's really bad. They're gonna lose a lot of money unless they get a TV deal. Um, Kenneth, the blind leaderboard is like you'll do the like you there's no, the results won't show up. This didn't really happen. Are you like 100% you tore your Achilles? Because Achilles tear don't hurt. So like you're completely asymptomatic if it's a rupture. Like it's 100% torn, or you tore your calf. Can you walk? That's a great question. That's the question. Can you walk? Doing shuttle runs. See? Should have joined. Can't walk. All right. Well, shoot me a text today. Did you get evaluated already? Would be the question. Jonathan Ortega tore his Achilles. That's no fun. It's dangly foot. Yep. Damn, dude. I'm sorry. That really sucks. But two things. Surgery is very, very effective. Super consistent. Outcomes are great. It's just going to take a long time, and you're going to be in a boot for a minute. So, um, and I would probably for sure take BPC 157 once you get surgery, without a doubt. Can't really advise that, but talk to your doctor. Yeah. Good luck, man. Let me know if I can help in any way. I've definitely rehabbed. So yeah, good luck getting surgery. Sooner the better. Avera with a great statement. Nothing has come close to improving mobility than snatch overhead squat with load. Some might find this ironic, but you need to work range of motion under increasing load. You just need to work it under any load at all. Right? This is like the biggest thing why I think things like GoWOD or ROMWOD or whatever, I think they're all fine. Um, I do if you really like doing it, I think it's fine. But I think people that are doing it because they need to really change how they move, right? And they need to improve snatching or um, front rack or squatting, etc. It's not going to move the needle like they want it to. The things that are is end range, time under tension, spending time in the bottom of a squat, spending time with load overhead, in perfect positions or in as good of a position as you can get. Load will create change faster than passive stretching or even time under tension in passive stretching, right? Like even like a so like a pigeon or something like that. It's great. My pigeon's fucking terrible, but I can gymnastics squat with a bar overhead, right? Because that's all the things that I do. Do I like to do a little bit more um like, do I like to do some stretching outside of that? Yeah, sure. I like to just do my hamstrings a little bit, my quads or whatever, but I mean, if I'm trying to improve my squat or my overhead squat, all we do is load, time under tension. Um, yeah, Sean knows that's what we've been trying to say. Full range of motion, under load on all lifts. Why do people think once the squat is loaded, we should barely hit parallel? Yeah, I mean, I think there's also points, right? Of like, this is the Sean, like, why do people think once the squat is loaded, they should barely hit parallel? This is like where there's nuance with like, are we trying to squat as much as possible? And if we are, and it's a competition, then, the lower you go, the more range of motion is required. By definition, the more power is required, etc. Um, 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 yeah, Sean, yeah, find a good upper body program. Static stretching does little to nothing for increasing range of motion mobility. Flexibility is different than mobility, right? Just like reaching for your toes. Does that translate? So, um, yeah, I agree. Vicky, so this is interesting. Vicky says, I can agree. I don't have any major mobility issues, but it doesn't always translate under load. Right. So this isn't a mobility thing, right? This is a strength component. And this is all about strength, right? You can call it motor control or like proprioception or, like uh, peripheral nervous system, like connection or whatever you want to call it. But this is more of exposure and strength, right? At like its most base level, right? Is like having the strength to maintain a good um, snatch grip, overhead squat position in the bottom, right? And not dump the shoulders or bend the elbows or whatever it is, right? This is all strength driver. And after chatting with you, knowing you more as an athlete, I think that's 100%. It's a strength component, never a mobility component. And most of the time it is, right? It's like a movement acquisition or a motor control thing that people truly struggle with um more so than anything, right? You just have this like learned like you just learn to do the movement better after you do it a lot of times, especially when you're like, oh, I don't move very well in this position. Let me just like focus on moving exactly how I want to, even if that means cutting down the range of motion or whatever it may be. So strength. All right, Sean. Oh, Graciano. So Wall Street weightlifter is going to do heavy Isabel the week before semi start. Well, doesn't it start next week? Right. But I'm excited. But I don't think he's going to win. Every day. Oh, every day in the gym. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. You know, I mean, everyone has different goals, right? If they're below parallel at all, then I'm not going to fault them for not going ass to grass. Um, all right. Let's look at these workouts. So, can we see them from here? Ah, perfect. All right, so we have an aerobic piece, row, burpees, shuttle runs. I don't know. I'm not gonna just like beat a dead horse, but this like the way they did the weights, like what this was funny. Like I don't know the order. Anyways, 40 shuttle runs, which is 20, by the way. So it's down and back as one or is two. So it's 20, 20, 20. Aerobic workout, long 20-minute AMRAP. You know, I certainly wouldn't call it clever, but it is a great aerobic test. And oh, this is where Jonathan busted his Achilles. That sucks, man. I'm sorry. Not a bad test. Um, so I- while they say there's no squatting, well, it's 20 straight, Sean. It's not 40, it's 20. It's like 20 in the way that we write it. Um, So while everyone's complaining there's no squatting, there is 100 meters of lunging, which is a pretty hefty amount. And this is where I think people, um, um, I think this is where people they kind of like put themselves in a like between a rock and a hard place when you have a ton of volume of something almost like squatting. So everyone said that the games were light, right? There wasn't a lot of squatting, etc. at the CrossFit games this year. Everyone complained about it or whatever. But I said this during the games, since Dave used Chad as their cornerstone workout and he built the entire games around Chad this year, you can tell because that was it. It's the assumption that that was enough knee flexion testing because it was 1,000 step ups, right? Or whatever their little pyramid thing was. So because he did that and he leveraged the games and programming the games around that, squatting was just gonna be way less, right? Like substantially less. Um, so I think this was their um uh I think this was their like their first workout they wrote, and then everything was written around it. And so then you just miss squatting, like, oh well, um here's 100 meters, right? Or or 300 feet of lunging overhead, farmers, front rack. That's enough knee flexion, right? And so you just end up missing it, right? Not great, in general programming, but I love this workout. Um, I mean, it's almost identical to our open workout, just advanced, right? Just beefed up. I think the double unders are probably pretty irrelevant for most people. I think the biggest thing is even like here, like an overhead squat is going to, or overhead lunge, 100 feet's a long way, especially you have to turn around 3 times. So it's going to be tough. Um, is the standard for the shuttle run different? You don't have to touch? Nah. I mean, all right. I mean, I think a lot of people really do struggle, like Lito said, with the back. Says seems like her back probably struggles with it. Um,
2025 season is 8 form over the rower and 40 shuttle runs with 7.6 meters of distance counting as one rep. Challengers will complete.
I mean, I kind of like not touching, right? It definitely speeds it up. Um, Probably half a second to a second per turn. So I don't mind that. I think that's good. All right. Workout 3, handstand walk deadlift. I love this workout. Um, I th- I don't know if I love it directly into part B. Um, but it's definitely heavy. This wall walk complex is going to be tough, especially here is 2 minutes from completion. Right. So Avera says, I don't know if I were to do all those lunges today. I'm pretty sure I would be sore. Correct, but it's still just a movement pattern. I don't think you also get sore in the glutes. Um, right? Like just in general, usually quads don't get very sore from like high volume lunging. It's usually like posterior chain, walking especially. Um, but I don't know if it's hard to right. And so the knee still gets a lot of knee flexion stimulus, right? So really high volume lunging in a short qualifier, in my opinion, does sort of put you in this no man's land of do we still need to squat or not as far as a test, right? And you obviously, I assume a lot of you heard Taylor's rant. Um, and so it's tough, right? Like, oh, we want to lunge. Okay, good. You know, but then do we squat heavy somewhere? Like they could have probably just made this squat cleans here and it probably would have been fine. But I also don't think I don't know how many people are going to get a lot of reps here. I guess we'll find out. There's already scores in. Okay. Anyways, I like this. I like this workout. I love this workout. I love the complex. Um, I thought we would see a complex in semifinals, but now that this is out, If there was one, they for sure changed it. Um, or at least in master semifinals. Okay. All right, so workout 1, who's winning? Ryan drew 394 reps, which is I don't know how far. Yeah, right, but some people do say this a lot, right? So that say there's if there's skipping handstand push-ups, it doesn't count, but say there's strict handstand push-ups in a qualifier, but there's no barbell shoulder to overhead in all. Like there's no overhead weight tested. Most people will for sure say that overhead strength wasn't tested. But by definition, that's incorrect, right? Like the strict handstand pushup is. Now, does that favor a different athlete a little bit? Sure, but still testing overhead strength. Now it's relative versus absolute. And so those things are, those things can sort of get convoluted, but it's still there. But a walking lunge with, a light load versus a squat, it's not the same. But again, programming it in a short qualifier will put them in this position. And that's why I think there's no squatting. Um, or they just forgot and Will isn't as great of a programmer as they made it seem. Okay. 394. So how many rounds is that? So it's basically 20, 60, almost 5 rounds. I think that's pretty good. All right, let's see here. Tristan, 11:59 for this. I feel like that's good. Do we get lucky with any videos? That'd be sick. No. Okay. All right. Sub 12. I think it's going to be tough. Let's see how many people got this one. Tristan Meredith, 443. Flying. Sub 5 is cooking. I think a lot of people are going to get capped. Oh, no. A lot of people have this 6-minute. Okay. Interesting. And who else is here? Anyone? Nope. All right. Last one. 31. Wow. I want to watch some of these people do it. Holy fuck. Some people most people. So I'm assuming this is total 15 plus. God damn. 15 cleans still at 225. I mean, I guess you only need this takes 3.5 minutes. I think that puts you there. Man, dude, these people are flying. I want to see some of these videos. Let's see if we can find them. World Fitness Projects. What workout? 3B. World Fitness Project workout 3B. I just want to find, let's see if we can find Tristan Meredith. That didn't work out. Ed Canto. No. Just want to find someone with a crazy score. Maybe Tristan Harrison. Nope. All right. Anyways. Oh well. Yeah, so there's Lito said unpopular opinion. Is it that big of a deal? Do you think the wrong 10 people are going to qualify? So I don't know if the wrong 10 people are the right, but it's not the same 10 people. I hope that if that makes sense. Like it's certainly not the same 10 people that will qualify since there's no knee flexion pattern, most likely. Right now, is it the wrong one? There's always bias in tests and things will favor. Is it balanced? I don't know. Right. You can get through this qualifier and not be wildly strong, right? As well, like cycling 225 is probably more so on, um, is probably more so like a power endurance, right? Not a top end power test, but 10 deadlifts at 315, etc. So, could also argue there's no ring muscle ups. There probably should have been ring muscle ups. I would have said ring muscle ups instead of bar on the last one would have been better. But you know, we don't see ring muscle ups in a lot of tests. But I think the ring muscle up, I don't know if that's comparable to the squat. That's a very specific singular skill, right? In gymnastics, we're certainly tested with 45 pull-ups, 30 chest to bars, 15 bar muscle ups. Um, Not a very cleverly. I like the workout, but it's clearly a play on 22.3. Um, and maybe it's not. Maybe it's not a play on 22.3. Kind of seems like one. Anyways, and so I don't think squatting and ring muscle ups are the same, right? This is like literally just a foundational movement pattern, and the ring muscle up is like a specific skill. It would be more like saying, um, there was squatting, but there wasn't an overhead squat. So now there's an overhead squat and they would get through who can't do them. I think that would be more specific. I think squatting in general is just more broad. So I don't quite agree with you. Avera, let's see where spin is. Brian Spin hasn't put in any scores yet. I'll put in one score, 275. All right, not bad. All right, let's see what the ladies are doing. Jamie, crushing it. Congrats. Who else is here? Fee with the runaway. Fee is, again, so here's a great example of someone who is exceptional at gymnastics, very small, not a strong athlete. And we'll see where her A and B land. If she is top 3 in those events, then we definitely didn't get the strength test that maybe would have been a little more balanced, right? Because Fee would certainly not be considered one of our strength biased athletes in our sport. Um, so, um, anyways, Haley would do very well at these. No squatting, power 155. Um, Agreed. Looks like if he pumped out all of them. Allie, nice. And I don't know any of these other people. Let's see. I'm assuming a lot of that. Isn't it due? When's it due? Like today? Isn't Colton supposed to be doing these at some point? I mean, I'm assuming a bunch of people just haven't put their shit in. When does it due? Oh yeah, it's doing like 15 hours. Oops, that's not right. Yeah, closing in 12 hours. So it closes tonight. So I assume this will change a lot. We'll chat about it. We're going to go live with John and Travis. The boys are back on Thursday. So we'll talk about this leaderboard, the open, and all that kind of shit. Let's see what else is in the CrossFit space today. Anything worthy of my breath? Just kidding. Craig, what's up? Good morning. Haven't seen you in the chat yet. Whoops. Not that one. This one. There we go. Yeah, this was good. Aaron asked if I saw the big boys. The big boys. The interrupting boys. What are they called? Interrupting cow. Moo. What is it? What's their thing called? They're still working through their oh yeah, Emma Lawson and Brute. That's what I want to talk about. what is it? The boys, what is it? The interrupted boys or something like that. Boys interrupted. There we go. Thank you. I'm all
Four of us had to do punishments. So wonder who.
I thought Medeiros was a WFP signed athlete. Colton Vera says Colton was yet to post anything. Saw Medeiros doing one of the qualifiers. Is he? I thought he was signed, so he shouldn't have to do it. He has to be signed. There's no way he's not signed. Yeah, he is. He was interviewed at Wodapalooza. Anyways, yeah, the brute. This is interesting. So before we get into this, so the brute takeover is real, right? And obviously Jonathan is biased. He shoots for brute. But this was proven last year, right? Something, right? We saw so many people join proven. We saw so many people join HWPO like what 2 years ago, right? You know, we saw that whole thing happen with proven 2 years ago. Everyone joined proven and then everyone left and then everyone came back, right? Or then like another huge thing kind of came back. You know, I think the brute thing is interesting. I haven't looked at any of all the templates that I've looked at, which I've looked at pretty much all of them. I've like bought memberships so I can see, you know, because you know, it's just like reading programming is what I really, really love to do and picking people's brains. I've never seen Brute's stuff, but based on what I've heard, based on what I've heard from Dallin is that there is no like it doesn't sound like anyone does anything the same, right? So so you know, is their template even appropriate? You know, are they good coaches? I mean, they're obviously showing a lot of oomph, and I think this is where the sport is, right? Of people when they're moving camps, they're just gonna move to the camp that's showing the current most success. And Brute obviously is with their, you know, showing at the games, right? With these three. Well, these two, right? So I don't know. There a lot of people are going there. We'll see how it goes. I think you get to a point where you know, one of these three guys will probably not be there in under 2 years just because of competition. There's, you know, you are competing against each other. And I think that knowing exactly what everyone else is doing all the time, I think that kind of puts you at a disadvantage or no, when everyone else knows what you're doing all the time, there's some disadvantage. People struggle with favoritism and things like that. I think that's like, those are real things personally. All right. So
Who those
event.
These dweebs did. Oh wait, no, this is the new.
Justin, so
Here we go.
Pretty good. But
They died, so it took them a while to get started.
I think they're ready. You just need to get on the
Alright.
nerve thing. I'm way more.
So ended up being Dallin got like 143.
10.
Jason got 150.
8.
Shut up. They didn't have the score. We couldn't really see anything, which was fine, is what it is. Jason got 150, and then James got 160. And so
Jason just
I can't
in front of him.
who's gonna head
that was not the strategy.
What'd you get?
143. Not
You
great.
got it, Jason. You got it.
What Jason get?
150.
150. Oh dude, I trolled them.
Dude,
Give me that belt, boys.
you got 163.
Yeah, he smoked. How'd you do it, James?
I did 15 seconds on for 4 sets.
Dude, By the way, this
45
is the most
seconds,
painful
just
thing.
Chill, super chill.
Hey,
Shutting down.
air thinner up there, bro.
So that statement, and I hope Kevin's watching still, but it does make a difference on a bike. At elevation, the bike is a little easier, but it's harder to breathe, right? So there's a balance point, right? Like people are just less aerobic at elevation than they are at sea level, but the air density is heavier at sea level versus up there, so the bike will spin a little easier.
I just said that, bro. You could come do it with me next time. Come to my wedding. You can do the bike challenge here.
I sprinted too long.
Anyways, yeah, I know that was interesting. Oh, super chill. So he'd sprint probably close in the hundreds, like low hundreds, and then he would roll it back to 80 during, I don't even think 80 is it. So 75 RPMs is about 25 calories a minute. So depending on how hard, I want to see his Sprague's video of what it looks like. I'd really want to see their monitor, right? Like I want to see what the monitor looks like. Like if you could get, they should have put a camera on the monitor the whole time. Anyways,
Dude.
What were we talking? Someone brought up something. Oh, Emma to Brute. Good for her. I think maybe that'll kind of pull her out of her shell of no games. Yeah, obviously she's not doing it this year, but maybe leaning away from CrossFit as a sport and going into WFP or whatever. I think being at Brute is definitely obviously like a CrossFit scene supporter overall, versus, maybe some other camps that aren't, right? But I think for the most part, all the American-based camps are still really pro the CrossFit season. Lucas introducing himself again. I love it. Good man. You're a good man. But Jason put it to them. 20 calories is so much.
Dude, they're not gonna have much commentary to give right now, Justin.
I know.
They're shutting down.
It gets worse. You guys have never done a test like this. So I've done a 5-minute test, and I think like my score is like 106 calories or something like that. And that was when I was very good, much better at the bike.
Dude, it gets worse, bro. So,
We had it on the video. I don't know. The wattage was like 14 or something, 1400. I hit like 110 on the first one probably. But then I could barely get it back over 100.
Yeah.
It wasn't that good.
So I
Yeah.
did some research on the wattage and to calorie output, and every watt you go above 110 is going to give you a calorie
RPM.
significantly quicker. So if you got that thing above 110
Every
It's
time.
about RPMs.
it was going to give you calorie reward so quick compared
After the second minute, when I wasn't getting any calories counting by 2, I was like, oh no. Because I needed it to count by 2, or I was like, oh.
I'm surprised they're standing right now, man.
I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're even talking.
I'm doing it Monday.
Anyways, Emma's problem is not her training. I think I disagree. It's between her ears. She has Mal O'Brien syndrome. So 2 things with that. I don't think Mal ever struggled personally with like the same things that Emma are struggling with. I have no idea, but it seems like she didn't struggle with how people perceived her, the public, etc. And I don't think that was Mal. I think Mal was just like completely just like, I hate doing this at this point. I think Emma still enjoys doing it, but she is trying to find her, like, like, can she tolerate the social input of being famous? I don't know. I know shit. I know fuck all about it, right? So who knows? She does have a coach, didn't she just join Root? Jonathan says she doesn't have a coach. Isn't she hurt from Sean? I don't fucking know. I mean, she did Wadapalooza. I think hurt's this like relative thing, right? I don't know. Has she revealed a lot of her mental? I mean, every time that she's speaking, she definitely talks about like not being happy and finding a better place currently pretty regularly. But yeah, both young ladies who do not have the balance they want as young ladies in life. Young ladies. I like it. I got it. All right. Well, now she does. That's right. Who is she working with, Jonathan? You would know. Is she working with Elle or Matt? Mhm. Yeah, this is funny. They should get a job in a factory and see what unhappy is like. Exactly. No, um I think it's interesting of like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I just we're different, right? To be paid to be an athlete, like paid well. God, I fucking couldn't think of anything better. Like at all. I couldn't think of any better thing than just being paid to fitness or do my sport or my skill or play golf or fucking play a team sport or do CrossFit or whatever it is, right? Um, I don't know. But I always enjoyed the journey way more than the result. Mainly because my results were fucking terrible. I was not a very fit individual ever, right? I just kind of got by. Um, and no, is Olivia next? No, she's at Proven. Um, so yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can hate Noah or whatever, but like at least the life that he shows on social media and from the common circles that we have, like, I mean, the guy's just living life, you know. Um, I mean, it seems pretty solid to me. He's got a baby on the way, dude. His wife's a working physical therapist. I mean, they're crushing it. So, um, you know, um, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in the middle of air. You have to imagine being 20, not 40, to understand what they're giving up to compete. So much more to it than what puts food. 100%. But I just don't think there's any situation that could come to me that would like, oh man, training isn't giving me my gratification of life anymore, you know? Um, especially if I was like just fitnessing and not coaching at all. So like my only job was, my 4 to 8 hours of training focus, recovery, food consumption, even with a kid. God, I just, man. Um, yeah, I don't know. Um, Meaning the struggle. I don't know what you mean, Renata. Um, so, um, ugh. Mm, ouch. Man, I keep like tweaking my neck. I picked up a sandbag on Saturday. Um, I don't know. I mean, I don't fucking have a social life. I mean, you can balance it. I also think that like sacrifice is important, you know. I don't know. Very biased in this regard in this um yeah. I don't know. I feel like you can find the balance, right? Even at 20. I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know specifically cuz I was in Greek life and like I worked hard. I got up early every morning to teach a boot camp and I trained and I didn't go out when everyone else went out. I didn't drink when everyone else drank. I still drank a lot, but and so I don't know. I guess that's true, but I mean, it's pretty clear that besides Matt Frazier, all of this can be done um with balance, right? So, yeah. I don't know. I also do think it is very specific to, um, or more specific to females than males, but which is why I don't think it's just purely about life balance. It's about the perception of the public on you and like how that affects you in general, right? Um, so, which I think is as important. Um, if you're not a games athlete, there's no point in you running your dick around. This is an interesting statement from Trish. Trish says, if you're not a games athlete, there's no point in running your dick around, running your dick into the ground. Um, um, and so I, th- I agree, but how do you get there? How do you get to the point of being a games athlete if you're not? I think that person specifically trains or should be training more because they're trying to break through. They're trying to get the deal. They're trying to become full time, right? Um, and um, and so if you don't do it not as a games athlete, how do you get to that point? Do you just hope to get to that point? Or because like for Emma could probably train at 60% and um still be a top 10 female CrossFitter. It's clear, right? Like the work has been put in, and so she can be in maintenance now. So Jonathan thinks more females are just outspoken. And this is like Aaron's point. Their time commitment to their craft isn't more than most people's work life. I agree, right? Like, I mean, I agree with this 100%, right? Like if we just assume it's 8 hours, okay, and it's not 8 hours straight, right? It's 8 hours. That includes food consumption, 4 hours to 5 hours of training, right? Um, recovery. Oh, you don't get to go out. Even if you want to travel and stuff, like you can find ways to make it work. Like if you have a family and things like that, you just, like, hey, I'm still going to bed at this time. I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, everyone's in their own thing. That's why I don't think it's just purely about like training balance to social balance or whatever it is. I also think that you could say the same thing about like, oh, this person went to college and they didn't stay home in their shithole town and start doing drugs because they needed more balance in their life. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's a cop out of like sacrifices have to be made for success in life and at literally every level once you move out of your parents' house. Right. Like you have to sacrifice going out to get good grades, right? You have to sacrifice socializing to make sure that, like that process starts once you become an adult, right? So I don't think the balance thing. I speak from someone who has had pretty poor balance most of my adult life from like a work perspective um and self-care, self-training or whatever, like the things I do for myself versus my family. And so I have zero empathy for people that are like they need more work-life balance. Like I started a business the day I walked out of college and I've been grinding ever since, late nights, working on travel, and that's just how it is. And there's sometimes is it worse? 100%, but it's fueled the great life that I have, and so I just don't fucking have any empathy or remorse for people that are like, oh, it's hard to fucking train and eat and get massages and make social media posts for my sponsors. I don't know. I just don't fucking think that that's like an issue personally. And I'm not saying this is Emma, by the way, right? This is just talking to the chat in general. So, um, uh, let's see. Jason was unhappy at HWPO. Yeah, well, he realized that he can't create that much sacrifice, which is fine. And he found something better, right? I don't think that's not what we're um, commenting on. It's just people that just like, oh, life is hard. He wasn't complaining it was hard. He just hated that situation, right? He thought he wanted it and he didn't. He was also away from his wife, wasn't he? Like he's a social butterfly. So, um, Oh, Trish coming. I see many people who aren't there not using PEDs, and yeah, 100%, right? Like I agree. Like you have to be realistic about it, right? For sure. I agree 100%. Free travel. By the time someone is a certified AT, they put more hours in an entire CrossFit career, mostly unpaid. Is that athletic trainer, Sean? Christian, he just need to bang his wife more. Talking about Jason, that's probably true. He spelled your name right. Oh, it just said J. Yeah, for sure. Great. What interesting example. Athletic trainers, the most underappreciated job in like all of sports, and the worst path to become like a paid trainer. 100%. Like they do undergrad, they have to accumulate hundreds of hours per semester as interns. In grad school, still hundreds of hours of like working with football on the field, travel. They're the first people in the locker room or in the weight room because people need care or treatment before they get suited up for practice or before they go into a weight training session or a training session for the day, and they're the last ones to leave. They're the fucking it's the worst. It's the worst. That's a good call. That's a grind. I mean, they put in thousands of hours unpaid. You're right. I was going to do athletic training. Every athletic trainer from undergrad that I knew that finished and went on to become, they don't do it anymore. I don't know one that still does it. Yep. It's terrible. Avera, it is okay to say young men. Oh, 100%. Young men and women are different. Young men and women have different needs and interests, not absolute, but generally true. Without a doubt, for sure. No doubt in my mind. I'm just still not going to give empathy for anyone that says their life is like they've sacrificed too much or, like work-life balance when their work life is being an athlete. Anyways. All right. What's everyone's plans for today? It's Tuesday, so I assume everyone is going to work. Avera is not going to work. But everyone else is. No, what does everyone have on the docket for today? I have, let's see, what's my schedule look like today? A couple meetings, a couple sales calls for one-on-one coaching. Speaking of, if you guys are looking to not suck at CrossFit anymore, or you feel like you're spinning your wheels or you're struggling with injury or really anything in the training aspect, I'd love to get on a call with you. I'd love to chat, discuss training options, and see if it could be a good fit for my team and you to work. Jonathan, what is your new job? I don't think it's going to work, buddy. Mate, you got to put on a boot. Jonathan has to go to work with a Achilles tear. It's going to be real rough. Yeah. So if you guys are looking for training, prepping for the community cup, moving into off season, etc., you can scan the QR code right there. All right. Join us. And yeah, we'd love to have you in our group. It's a good training community, right? Super proactive and responsive coaches. As you can see, it keeps me fit. Let's see, what is today's training? Do a little inside look. Whoa, there we go. Nelson's face. Natalie with some 2 muscle ups. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. All right. I need to share the screen. All right. What's training today? So it's Nelson's one of our coaches, as you guys know. So we have our 60 track. We have some ring muscle up work into some handstand push-up work, and then row, dumbbell push press, shuttle run, dumbbell push-up. Spicy. Let's see, fit. So we have a fitness track if we're trying to do Christian, you're a Pokemon. What's your collection look like? Let's see, fit. So fit is sort of like our no high school stuff. So we've got some bench press, some ground rows, and then a very similar workout. Let's see, garage, short. Just a workout can be done low equipment garage or like a hotel gym. Intermediate track and our RX track are moving into the off season. So more muscle up technique work, pressing, stamina, conditioning, 2 conditioning pieces. 2 12-minute AMRAPs. Oh, that makes sense now. And then this is our track getting ready for semifinals this week. It's got some power clean and jerks, overhead squats and burpee bar muscle ups, and then some density of hang snatches and box jump overs. So I'll probably do this piece. I'm pretty sore today. I'm actually super, super sore. I don't want to do any gymnastics today. So I'll probably do some power cleans. And then I won't do this. And I'll probably take something from our fit track. And so I just kind of piece it together. So that's our stuff. You guys should join. All right. Frog grips. They're cheating. It's all right. I'm all for it. I'm all for it though. It is what it is. I haven't put them on. I still rock Bear Complex. That's what I've always done. Or no, what do I have now? No, I have RX Smart Gear grips. Yeah, I like those too. But I was Bear Complex for forever. Actually going out of town, what workouts do you recommend for a hotel workout? We have that. Natalie, right here. WP Garage. Let's see what today's is. Row or bike or run, kettlebell swing, goblet squat, and you can do a dumbbell snatch, goblet squat, pull-ups. Oh, whoops. I thought I was sharing. Fail. Here we go. Row, bike, 100 burpees. Nah, that's usually a good one, to be honest. I use grips when I pleasure myself. To be honest, that would be fucking rough. You'd come out for sure worse off. Definitely. Right? Like, do you chalk them too? Would you chalk them? That would be pretty rough. Let's see what else. What kind of clothes? What's everyone's go-to for like gym apparel? Like, do you guys do Fiore or like what's your favorite gym apparel company right now? What do you guys like to go to? Christian, we use True Coach. What I have to use for individual programming, we use True Coach. We've thought about using WODup, this is for our template tracks. They have one-on-one coaching here. But yeah, we use True Coach for one-on-one, and then this is for our template stuff, and this is called WODup. Avera, is all this Pokemon card stuff code for something? No, Pokemon cards are very much in valuable from a collector's standpoint currently. They've sort of re-elevated since like 2000 and I don't know 15 or so. So all right, cool. But yeah. So yeah, but yeah, people love some Pokemon stuff. Blackout barbell shorts. I just met him at Beach Brawl today. Yes, not today. Sunday. The blackout barbell guy. He's a good dude. Let's see. Under Armour. Adidas. Oh, you're in the UK. Yeah, that hopefully Born Primitive will drop ship soon. You won't have to pay that. Sean, that's his name. Let's see what else. Yeah, I like their stuff. I went and bought one of their shirts over the weekend down at Beach Brawl. Okay, all right, good to know. Good to know where everyone's head is at. So dude, I rock Cove, like COVE shorts. They're not really in the fitness space, but they do a 5-inch cut shorts, and they are the fucking best. I have like 9 pairs. I threw away all my other shorts, and I kept them. COVE shorts. I'm trying to get them to sponsor me, but it is what it is. But no, I love their shorts. I've bought every color they have. 3.5 inches wild, by the way. Jonathan, 3.5 inch. Like, we're getting close. Just to be serious. Their leg holes don't stretch. I don't even know what that means. No, sponsor me. I want them to sponsor me. And then overall, CJ loves BJ's. I think that's FUBU. I used to wear FUBU. Rain 6. I don't even know what that is. What's a Rain 6? Is that a shoe? Rain. Whoops. What's that from? Oh, is that an Under Armour shoe? Oh. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm just used to that. I guess it just says Viore. I like Viore. I like Viore because I get 40% off. I do. Their clothing quality is good. Just super expensive. Yeah. My legs aren't quite as big as yours. I did one. Let's see. Let's look at my March Madness bracket. I think I'm in like last place. Maybe not quite last place. This is where we're at. I don't know. Let's see where we are relative to the people. Can you see my screen? Nope. All right. Razorbacks all the way. That's fucking crazy. Let's see where I'm at. I'm in 15th out of 23. So, I mean, I'm pretty bust. I don't know. I just fucking wung it. I think I let AI pick a lot of them. So, but I still have a decent amount of people still in general, right? I don't think I have any fully busted pieces. Oh, maybe I do. Nope. Got tech. Who did I have here? I had tech here. No, I didn't. Oh, this one's fully busted. Boom, boom. So, yeah, Florida's still in. So I still got a chance. Let's go to my actual group. So if we go to a max, I'm not very close. But the guy who's winning currently only has a max of 16. So percent 32. Is that percent to win chance? Anyways, that's where I'm at. Not very good. That's all right. I don't know. It was like $30. Oh, well. All right. Jonathan, for Viore, how do you get 40% off? If you go to their website, you go all the way down here. V1 community. Yeah, right here. So hit that V1 community. Right. And then you just sign up as like a coach or something. Shut the fuck up. Florida is going to win. Not that I'm a Florida fan by any means, but they're probably going to win. They're hands down the best team in the thing. Oh yeah. Import stuff is expensive. Hey, maybe if the United States buys Canada, we won't have to worry about that anymore. I'm not a Florida fan, but they're going to win. They're just better. It just is what it is. I'm a Miami fan. My wife is a Florida fan, and her family went to Florida. So I think you're a little biased, Sean. Just saying. Just is what it is. I hate basketball season. It's just not my favorite. To be honest. All right. Anyone but Duke. Isn't Duke shit this year? Or no, they're not. No, that's North Carolina. Yeah, if you guys are looking to find a good online coffee subscription, head over to Candlestick Coffee Roasters. Good dude, CrossFitter. The coffee is actually really, really solid. And has options, subscriptions. Look at that. $18. Ship the more you. Oh yeah, Cooper Flag. He's a freak for sure. But if you're looking for some coffee, buy now. Use the code WODprep. Give it a try. It's definitely worth it. What am I drinking right now? I think I'm drinking this. It's really good. He sent us some different stuff. So I started with this. I definitely like the Peru more. But I'm drinking this right now. 100%. If I were on the verge of hypothermia, I would still take my coffee cold. It's the only fucking way. Hot coffee is trash. Almost comparable to tea, which is even more trash. All right. And then Avera asked me to give JR a shout out. Dude, it's crazy. Also, another testament to maybe why the Open wasn't very balanced. Not taking away anything from JR, but he'll be the first to tell you that he's not the strongest one. Right. Christian, we talked about him a little bit before. He asked about the WFP qualifiers. My final takeaway is I like the workouts. I don't think they're I think the no squatting thing, right, is I don't know. There's a lot of lunging, so still a pretty hefty amount of knee flexion. There's some heavy loads, but if you just look at the qualifiers as they are currently, FI sits basically number one across the board. So maybe it's not as heavy as it seems in general. Yeah. Do I get into ground? I do grounding every day. Every day I work in the yard barefoot. Every day. I'm outside. I'm always barefoot. I very much support being outside and putting my feet in the grass. 100%. I try to convince my wife to do it and she won't do it. So I'm not doing any sheets or anything like that. I think that's dumb. I live on a third of an acre, and so I can just go outside. I think anyone that does grounding sheets or anything like that, that's probably, I think that's silly. But I do think that everyone should put their feet in the grass every day. 100%. Yeah, calm down, Avera. Sean's just kidding. He loves JR. Awkwardly, like Jeremy said, we all want JR. No, he meant to say so homo. Like we all want JR so homo. Like full. No, dude, that guy's crazy. Easy Ben Greenfield. No, I can't do like the 15 minutes of sun, maybe like a little anal sunning or sauna every day and then cold plunge every day and then all the things and like no caffeine for an hour, like all that biohacking shit. I think it's tough. I do think people should be in the grass for sure. Stem cells in your hog. Man, that sounds like a good idea. Yeah, we're thinking of doing a garden. What we're about to do, I gotta go soon. I gotta get Bennett ready for school. Shit. What we're about to do is we're gonna put a big playground outside for Bennett. And then I'm gonna put a Castro rig out there with it, or a four post with like a 15-foot upright, so I can do some rope climbs and wall balls at the house. And so based on how big that footprint is, we might do a garden around, like over to the side, that we might rework the backyard in the next year or two. I'd love to do a garden. So not totally out of the bag, but I got to get approval from the HOA to put up a fucking 15-foot rig in my back. Oh, the raised beds. That's a good idea. Means I'll still have my garden too. Castro has a rig named after him. It's always been the Castro rig, like since they made it, like since day one. I mean, that's been on Rogue's website for 10 plus years for sure. I wouldn't even call that I wouldn't relate that to like a complex thing for Dave or anything like that. It's just always been the Castro rig, which is their outdoor rig. That's it. Camille's got an outdoor rig. Camille has the sickest outdoor setup. I'm going to show it, Camille, before I get off this call. And then I got to go. Here, this is Camille's outdoor rig. It's sick. She's got a wall walk thing here for wall walks and handstand push-ups, pull-up bar, rope, wall ball target. Oh, it's so awesome. So jealous. Huge concrete pad. I don't know if I can put that much concrete in my backyard. I might cry. I love my grass too much. To put that much concrete in my backyard. But yeah. So about to move P-bars to the pull-up bar. I built P-bars. Like parallel bars? Oh, like the parallel. I like it. All right. Bennett's awake. Enjoy the day, guys. Thanks for being here. Oh, we do have some shows. Let's see. What do we have? We have 4 shows this week, too. So tomorrow night, me and Ben are going to talk about how to become an RX athlete if you struggle with scaling, etc. How the open kind of can determine the direction that your training needs to go if you're looking to RX the open next year. And then Thursday, the boys are back. Me, Ben, and me, Travis, and John will talk. Did the open do its job? Did the right people get to semifinals? And probably going to review the leaderboard for WFP. And maybe if any mayhem workouts are out, we'll start to look at that as well. And then Friday we'll be back on. So, all right. Enjoy the day, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow.